Hello, I'm MC Toon. Now, flat earthers, they make up a whole bunch of stories about Antarctica, and they think that there is some sort of an ice wall around the entire world, or a dome, or maybe not a dome, and maybe you could just keep going and there's more lands. They can't make up their minds, and they do disagree on that quite a bit. Guys get together, try to figure it out. Anyway, they also think that nobody gets to go to Antarctica, and that, uh, you know, armed penguins will shoot you down, or warships will stop you from going there because there's military, they think, patrolling all 60,000 miles of it. How can that much military? They don't offer any explanations for it. They just say it. And their gullible followers believe it. Well, there are some flights that go and completely falsify the idea that the Earth could be a flying pancake. And Qantas Flight 27 goes between Sydney and Johannesburg, or Sydney and Santiago. And there's another one that goes from Australia to Johannesburg, and another one that goes from South America to South Africa. They're all around it, but they want to go right across the pole. They say there have never been any north to south circumnavigations. Of course, like always, the flat earthers are wrong. There have been quite a few, but there have been no flat earthers on these flights. Well, I don't think they would be a flat earther after the flight. Well, there is a pilot, a 747 pilot, that is offering to organize a flight for the flat earthers. Have a look.
Hey 7-4 crew, welcome back. If you don't know me, my name's Kelsey. I'm a 747 pilot. My channel, 7-4 Gear, is all about aviation. Now apparently some people in the flat earth community are not a big fan of my channel. They've called me a fraud, among other mean things, and you know I'm super sensitive, so it's time for flat earthers to put their money where their mouth is. In 2021, I made a very simple video offering how flat earthers could prove the Earth was flat or not without doing crazy laser science experiments. And that was made for everyday people who aren't scientists or engineers, something that anybody can prove for themselves whether the Earth is flat or not. Charter a plane, fly from Argentina down to Australia, and then they can see that we took off, turned south, and that would be it. Seems pretty simple and easy, right? The flat earth community is able to organize flat earth conferences, or whatever these are called. So I thought it'd be easy for them to coordinate their own flight. But I was wrong, and I'm willing to admit when I'm wrong, and it's all right. I organized it for you. This is the undoable flight to the flat earth community. It's Buenos Aires to Perth, Australia. Now I made this a straight line, but this is not a flight plan. So it took me a bit of legwork to find somebody who had the plane that had that type of range, the availability, the crews, because they're going to have to fly to Buenos Aires with a whole crew, land there empty, and then they're going to have that crew layover and then prepare for the flight back, which is going to be roughly 16 hours. We're going to take off from Buenos Aires, we're going to be flying south, and we're going to end up in Perth. The flight's going to be roughly 16 hours, which is not possible on your flat earth map. I created a Kickstarter campaign, and the thing that I like about Kickstarter is that it's all or nothing. Meaning if we don't raise enough funds, nobody has to pay anything, myself included. The other thing you need to realize is that people are pledging money when they do a Kickstarter campaign. That means there will be people who will say, oh, I'll give $5,000, thinking that it will never get funded. And in doing so, that $5,000, when it comes time to pay up, there will be people who say, I'm not going to pay. And that means just because the target got met, it doesn't necessarily mean that everyone's going to actually commit and pay the money. Unless we have the money, we're not going anywhere. Now, it also means that until we have the money, I can't secure the aircraft. What I'm planning on is October 20th. I picked October 20th because, well, I honestly was going to pick October 13th because it's International Skeptics Day or something like that, but I picked October 20th. That's going to make it more easy and more likely for me to be able to bid my schedule in order to have that time off to do this flight. So that is when I'm planning to organize this flight. Once all the money's been raised and the money's been paid, I'll go reserve the aircraft. They'll organize the crew and the plane and get all that stuff locked in. So that's when it's going to get firm. Luckily, you have a lot of people in the flat earth community, like this guy, with huge chunks of cash ready to donate for this flight to happen. I'm going to be honest, flat earth people, there's a lot of people who don't think you all will raise the money to do it. I'm hoping that you do, because I want to go on the flight, I want to make the documentary, I want to go to Perth. So I want to do all those things. I'm cheering that you guys are going to make it. And because you're able to organize these types of meetings, I'm hoping you're able to organize and raise these funds. So this is the total amount of money that you need to raise. The link to the Kickstarter campaign is right there in the description. You can go in there and be a part of this thing, and you can either come ride the plane or you can donate just to see that it happens.
So yes, he's going to organize it. I'll put the link to his video in the description, as well as the link to where you can donate. It needs to be all in by June, mid-June, I think. I will be participating in some of that as well. I'm going to pledge some money. And I don't know. I want to go on this flight myself. I'm going to try to make it happen if at all possible. So be watching for that. If it does get organized and enough money is raised, then I'm going to start having to talk about it and see if I can get the vacation time, see if I can get the money figured out and how to travel. And I'll have to update my passport. It's expired. But that's what I would hope to do. I can't promise, but I'd love to do it. It'd be a fantastic thing to do. But it's really for the flat earthers. There needs to be flat earthers on that flight. There needs to be a lot of them. There's no reason why any flat earther would not want to be on that flight. They are truth seekers, so they say. And a truth seeker would do anything to jump at this opportunity to find out the truth. Now, I have spoken with some, and I know that some would love to do this and will definitely try to be on that flight. Good for them. But the others, any of the flat earthers that are, the big names, if you're not on that flight, you don't get to say anything afterwards. You never again get to say anything. If you don't promote it, you don't get to say anything. If you don't do everything you can to try to make it happen, flat earthers, then we know you don't care about truth. You're not truth seekers. You only want one thing, and that is to confirm your pre-selected conclusion. That's the only thing you're looking for. That's it, flat earthers. So there it is. Everybody is welcome to fund the project, but I'm looking at you, flat earthers. If you're serious, you'll do it.